What's going on, guys? Nice guy driver. So I had a passenger today, and he used to be a driver. So he was under depression because we had snow flurries today. We were talking about the weather, and he was like, "Yeah, you guys get paid more when the weather's bad, right?" I almost wanted to stop the car and look at him like this, like, really? No, those days are over, bruh. I asked him when the last time he was a driver, and it was a while ago. I think he said something like 6 years ago. I was like, yeah, 2018, 2019, maybe at the latest, was better pay, a lot better pay. I want to say things got bad around 2020, 2021, whenever they went public. And he was like baffled when I started breaking down how they pay now. And we started getting to talking because he's actually a partner with somebody that owns a transportation company. Why he was getting a Lyft, I don't know, but and we're both talking like there's good money in transportation. It's just with these middlemen like Uber taking a cut for doing only one thing, referring the customer. How do you take more than 50% to refer a customer? It's mind-boggling to me. When you think about affiliate marketing, even, not to change the subject, but the average affiliate marketing program, meaning that I promote your product or I send your company a customer, at best, usually you only get, it's rare you get even 50%. You usually only get 30%. That's the high end. Some affiliate programs only give you 10%. In my opinion, Uber and Lyft, at the most, should be taking 30% of the total fare. Not this hoodery foolery that David Richter's talking about, 70% after deductions. No, 30% of the total fare should go to the company at the most. The rest should go to the driver. And then Uber had the nerve to say they're going to raise the rates in some places because gas lowered. Gas went down, so Uber thinks they should get a pay raise because of that. I was like, wow, this is getting crazy now. This is getting absolutely crazy that on average, sometimes I'm seeing as much as 60, sometimes 70% of the total fare. Meaning literally, someone can pay $100 and blame it on fees and insurance and everything else and take $70 out of $100 and give the driver $30, and nobody's complaining. Like, there's people complaining, but you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone should be complaining that this is just not. And you always get, some wise guys in the comments and be like, oh, this is capitalism. Nah, bro. Capitalism would be taking the 30%. You're not doing anything. You're sending me business. Yes, that should be your 30%. Like Chase is trying to do an affiliate program with me where I send, if I send friends or family members, they'll give me. And I think Chase actually had a decent one. No, it was up to like $500 at the most. And then they cut it off. But on average, a lot of these affiliate marketing programs, they only give you 10, 20%. Like I said, 30-something% is on the high end. I have seen as much as 50%, which I would say Uber was taking back all the way back in 2019. Uber was taking 50%. They were taking 50% of the long rides all the way back in 2019. I don't even think they were public yet. Fast forward, I've seen them take as much as 60, 70%. So you could pretty much figure that, according to my calculations, between last year alone, my income dropped by 30%. Meaning, I used to make, on average, in just 4 hours, anywhere from $100 to $150 in just 4 hours. That has dropped at least 30%. At least 30%. So now, because you can drive longer to make that same $100, you got some wise guy drivers out here saying, oh, you can still make good money out here because you're driving longer. You're putting more wear and tear on your car to make the same dollar. So you're not really making the same dollar. That's what I'm trying to put in these drivers' heads. So if you make $300 today, it's not $300. You drove all day. Let's just, for shits and giggles, you drove all day. You drove about 10 to 12 hours. I think max is 12 now, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. You made anywhere from $250 to $300, depending on if it's a busy day or not. You actually think you made $300? No. You got to deduct gas because you probably use, if I drove 10 hours, I would use twice as much in gas, and I have a really good car on gas right now, at least right now anyway. I'm driving a Ford Fiesta. I could drive all day on $20. All day meaning 8 hours on $20. But if I went just 10 to 12, I would have to fill up a second time. So now you're spending more money on gas. You're putting more miles on your car. I only drive on average 5 to 6 hours. You're wearing your car out faster. You're doing more oil changes, more repairs. And these people think they're still winning because the dollar amount. That $300 is equivalent to $150 now. Because you did more damage and put in more gas. And these people just don't get it. And even now, I said one day in a video that, yeah, I made like 100 and some change in 5 hours. And some people will be like, oh, I make that in 4. Big whoop. That's an hour difference. Big fucking whoop. And that could be because you're in a better area. I don't mean to swear. It's just like, I feel like instead of drivers coming together, I feel like we're still divided. In a lot of ways. We're still divided. And I feel like we just come together. For God's sakes, Connecticut has a co-op. I met one of the guys from the co-op, and they're in, I want to say they set it up in New Haven. Yeah, New Haven drivers pulled together, and they're trying to do some type of co-op, but nobody built an app. Nobody's trying to build a third company app to not even compete with Lyft even. Just to give us a third option, for God's sakes. Give us a third option other than something like Roadie. You know what I'm saying? Give us a third rideshare app. Arizona has what now? 2 apps other than Uber and Lyft? I think they got Hum now. And then I saw Mike Drock Barbecue. He was talking about they got a company called Pax now. Pax Rideshare. PAX. And they got Hum. You got Minnesota has probably several now. Probably like 4 to 5 different apps other than Uber and Lyft. Connecticut, we have 2 companies. The monopoly we call Uber and Lyft. Unless I'm wrong, unless there's one out here and I don't know about it, let me know so I can promote it. I don't even care if it's only in a localized area, meaning just New Haven. I want to know about it. But I want to launch my own app for my own company once I get it up and running. Not right away. The app's not really needed, let's be honest. But I do want to start raising the money. And if you want to help me out with that now, I'll leave my PayPal link. If you guys want to contribute something to me working on this or help build out this channel, there'll be a link below for my PayPal. You can help me out that way. Because this is just crazy that Connecticut, we can't come up with a small, localized app at first. I'm thinking maybe like 3 to 4 towns in Connecticut. So I'm not even thinking about all of Connecticut, because that's going to require a lot more work. Have a localized app that me and say maybe 4 other drivers, we test out, we use, we get it right. It may take a year just to get it right, let's be honest. Then we raise the money, which it's a lot of people say it's a lot of money to launch a rideshare app. I'm hearing quotes as high as 100K bare minimum. I'm thinking if we raised 200K, we could get licensed here in Connecticut, because Connecticut's not that big. We don't need to do New York. I don't need to do Mass. We make it a local app that stays in our area. If we want to go outside that area, you can turn on Uber and Lyft, whatever. But a localized Connecticut app, at first, we get it going. We start working with the co-ops in the different towns. We start working together. We start working with and communicating with taxi and limo drivers as well. They could use it. There's some private-owned taxi companies that may want to jump on it. There's some private limousine drivers that may want to jump on it. Uber and Lyft ain't it, guys. It ain't it anymore. I'm thinking, I ain't gonna lie, I originally thought we had more time. I really truly thought we had another 20, 30 years before this automation crap kicks in. I was wrong. I admit it. Waymo, owned by Google, is expanding. I'm not saying that it's a problem now, but in 5 years, Elon Musk is threatening to launch his robo-taxis like next year. I think he even said this year. No, he said next year. He said like by 2026. Not likely. But even if he does it in 2030, that's only 5 years, guys. We're done. We're done with Uber and Lyft in about 5 years. We'll have robo-taxis everywhere. We'll have Waymos everywhere. We will still have, believe it or not, to stand the test of time, we still got taxi companies. I don't know why people think they're all gone. New Haven still has plenty of taxi drivers. Hartford still has taxi drivers. You still got private limousine drivers. You still got private transportation, private rides companies. I've seen them. They're usually doing the public school kids, but they're out here. I want to focus on my own private business first, but I want to partner with people to develop an app, advertise that myself if I have to. We need somebody like Pax to come out here, and I will promote the hell out of it. But until then, I gotta assume that nobody's gonna do it. And somebody hit me in the comments, well, why don't you do it? I was like, I don't have the money, but I do have the ability to network. So I get what he's saying. Go find the right people, go network, do what you got to do. So I'm going to take the next year to do that. 2025 to 2026, we're going to be working on probably the first 6 months of 2025. We're probably going to focus on building our own company first, or building out the clientele first. Maybe I'll get to the point where I get a second car, hire a driver one at a time. Then I'll go find somebody to help me build this app. But I'll tell you the honest to God truth, the technology's out there now. We have AI software that can help you build an app without coding. I don't even know how to do the apps without the coding really that good, but I'm sure I could find somebody to put together an app. We don't have to be fancy. We don't need our own navigation. We can use Google or Waze within the app. Build something that could make us some real money. I think I see my neighbor. He has a very distinct Nissan. Not my neighbor, my roommate. I called him my neighbor. There's just no more excuses that Connecticut can't come together to put together an app. I know we're a small state compared to New York and Jersey and Massachusetts, but I no longer want fair pay from Uber and Lyft, because it's not ever gonna come, if that makes sense. I already wrote that off. Now we just got to focus on building our own business. That may include deliveries. I may have to get off my ass and do some deliveries, package deliveries. I'm not a food delivery type of guy. I see how these apps tip big people. I don't have the patience. I really don't. I don't have the patience to deal with foolery like tip baiting. So I'm probably going to have to do like package deliveries, not through Uber. There are other companies out here you can do package deliveries through. There are other apps. There's other companies. They're out here in Connecticut. And this is still the busy time of year for some of these companies. So I'm actually trying to sign up with a company right now before I even launch my LLC. So I will be talking about it if I sign up for that, just to give me something else to talk about while we're going through this journey. But I'm going to begin the steps to building this private business as of this month. And we are currently in January, the first of the month. Well, not the first of the month, but the first week of the first month, 2025. We're going to get started. We're going to go down the line. I'm going to break it down from business name to every step of the way. And we're going to make this happen. The last thing being commercial insurance, because that's going to be the hardest. That's going to be the most challenging, to find good commercial insurance. That's another thing. You got this convenient insurance company. You can look this one up. It's called Voom. Not in Connecticut yet. There's similar companies out there, but none of them are in Connecticut. So we can't even get decent, affordable commercial insurance yet here in Connecticut. They want us to do regular insurance, rideshare insurance, and commercial if you need it. I'm like, I'm just going to skip the rideshare insurance and find a affordable commercial insurance that covers me all the time. It's probably going to be pricey. So far, the cheapest I found is around $500 a month. That's a little bit too pricey. I'm trying to get that down. If I can get commercial insurance down to about $300 a month. We're in there. We are in there. If I could find something that cheap, hit me up if you're insurance. Let's sit down. Let's put together an insurance company like Boom. If you're in insurance that covers you when you're not covered by Uber and Lyft platform, and let's try to make something happen, guys. I'm frustrated because I'm seeing other states doing it. I'm seeing other states, they have the perfect commercial insurance like Voom. If I had Voom in my state, I would have all the pieces. Technically. If Voom was in Connecticut, I would have all the pieces I need to start and launch right now. That's the only missing piece, is affordable commercial. Because you got to remember, I got to get business insurance probably too, which is way cheaper than commercial driving insurance, but still. So I'm probably gonna have to get business insurance if you want to do this right and legal. I looked up the first license I need. That is cheap. We're talking like less than $100. Obviously, I got to pay the state and federal for setting up the LLC. I gotta do a physical business address, which is going to cost money. I have to do it right. I can't use my home address because we're going after business and commercial credit. You have to have a business address. You have to have a business phone number. Not a cell phone number, a 1-800 number that can call back to a cell phone. It can. And the cell phone, when you call out, it'll show that number. That works. So we're probably looking at, just on setting up the LLC, probably $100 a month, somewhere around then, just to maintain the business. My first license is going to be less than $100 one time, not a big deal. I may get a secondary cell phone. That's probably another $20 a month. And if I could get like Voom probably is no more than my regular car insurance. Probably no more, no less. But we don't have that, so I got to find a reasonable commercial insurance company. So again, if you are in insurance, hit me up. Send me an email, willblandon@gmail.com. Let's figure this out, guys. Let's figure it out together, because I'm just done, fed up with Uber, Lyft. I don't even drive DoorDash. I'm fed up with DoorDash. I'm fed up with hearing about DoorDash. I'm fed up with hearing about Uber Eats. Roadie, I did hear Roadie's paying a little bit less, but I'm still willing to try it out. So I'm probably going to download. Matter of fact, I'm going to just go home and just download Roadie today, just for shits and giggles. But thank you guys for listening to me rant once again about these companies. And let's support Connecticut drivers and put together a rideshare app for Connecticut. Thank you. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, click that bell icon, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Thank you.